Hey YouTube, 3D Printed Life here, and today I have a pretty cool video about this stuff. This is carbon fiber infused filament, courtesy of ProtoPasta. They sent me this little sample to try out, thank you very much. And it's pretty awesome stuff, I must say. So right off the bat, if you get this stuff, you'll notice that the feel is way different from standard PLA. The look and the feel. Looking at it, it looks a bit more like ABS after you print it. But it's still even duller than that, and the feel-wise, it's pretty hard to describe. It's definitely not smooth. It's almost like a really, really high-grit sandpaper. So definitely a unique texture, feel, and all that. Another thing is that this stuff is so fragile. In a previous video, I described it as basically the strength of spaghetti, and that's because it is. It just snaps like this. It doesn't bend, flex, anything like that, it just snaps. But that is no indication of the final print quality. I'll just throw those that. So yeah, so this stuff is brittle, so you do have to be very careful with it when you're moving it around. You probably want to put it on a, if you get a smaller spool, like this was a 250 or 500 gram, I forget, but you probably want to put it on one of those free filament spool holders so that it doesn't snap when you're using it. But anyway, the real cool thing is what happens when you print with it. So here, I have two different impellers. One was printed with black PLA, one was printed with the black carbon fiber. Now just looking at this black PLA one at first, it's a pretty standard print. My printer quality isn't the best at the moment, it's getting there, it's still really good, but yeah, so as you can see, it prints nicely. There's some little like furs on the edges because these walls are pretty thin, and it flexes a decent amount. But now coming over to this carbon fiber one, first thing that you would notice is that the texture again is way different. The look is different too. It feels a bit like the filament does in the raw form, but it's actually a bit smoother when it's printed. Not quite as rough as it is in the raw filament. And then looking at it, as you can tell, it's a lot duller. It's not nearly as shiny, nearly as reflective as the PLA. A little hard to tell because of the lighting, but it is. But the real cool thing is how the filament behaves, and this is really the main selling point, the whole point of the carbon fiber infused filament. It's carbon fiber infused PLA, so it's really cool because if you look at these blades and you try to bend them, the PLA ones, they don't bend very much, but they'll bend. These carbon fiber ones barely bend at all. You really can't tell on the video, and the video doesn't do it justice, but it makes it super rigid. So, for high-stress parts like this, the carbon fiber would be extremely useful, especially for something like this, an impeller like this that has to spin fast, push air, it's going to be seeing a lot of load. You want it to be very, very rigid. As far as the brittleness goes, it's a little bit stronger than PLA, but not too much stronger. I don't want to break these because they're both so pretty, but I have printed out other samples and just snapped them by hand. The amount of force it takes to break them, the carbon fiber can definitely withstand a little more. However, the carbon fiber doesn't flex, so it seems like it doesn't take quite as much weight, but it does. Whereas the PLA, it'll flex a little, and then it'll either snap or crease. This one will just snap, but it has to have a bit more force. So yeah, that's basically it. So this carbon fiber filament is a little bit more expensive than standard PLA. I don't have exact prices, but there will be a link in the description to buy some to try out. So if you're doing any sort of high stress engineering applications, this carbon fiber filament can definitely come in handy. It is some really cool stuff. Even though it doesn't look a whole lot different than standard PLA, the properties of it are definitely worth trying it out if you think it will suit your application well. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Again, you can hit the link down below if you want to purchase some for yourself, and I will catch you all later.